Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel again. My name is Liz and I'm a part-time reseller in Maryland. In today's video, I'm taking you with me to one of my favorite thrift stores to see if we can find any treasures to make us some money. Let's go check it out. So I'm starting in the mugs because they changed things around a little bit here. Now, I think I've said before, I don't tend to do well with steins, and so I actually avoid them. I think I've sold like 2 in 12 years. I'm sure there are some collectible ones that I'm unaware of. I grabbed a pair actually of these LL Bean mugs, and this is a Mara mug. I'll put a comp up for you. I'm sure you've probably seen these before if you watch me or any of the other reseller YouTubers. Here's the other LL Bean. Now, I took the LL Beans for a ride, and while they do sell for about $25 each online, I don't think they were vintage. So I would have had to put them in my booth, and I'm just not sure that I would find the people who want to pay up for an LL Bean mug at my antique shop. So they did go back. I was intrigued by this Yale Stein, but I did comp it out off camera, and so I didn't pick that one up. And the Derby mug, or Stein, I didn't get that one either because I don't tend to do well with vintage racehorse stuff. I feel like I should. I kind of like that stuff. I used to really be into thoroughbred racing when I was a kid, as into it as you can be. Triple Crown every year at least, Breyer horse collection. So this decanter with this bear looked so cool. I comped it out. Didn't have a lot of value, so I had to stay. I'm really trying to be more discerning. And to be fair, stay to the end of the video, but this thrift store has been a little bit more sparse lately. It's been a little harder to find. I'm sure you've heard that elsewhere too, to find things you can flip for a profit. But luckily, I did find some things, which is why there's a video. And this is how I feel on a lot of days, not at that moment. I haven't found a really cool clock here lately, but I keep hoping I'll find some starburst mid-century clock. And I was intrigued by this acrylic piece, like a diorama almost. And I thought about getting it, but it looked somehow like unfinished. And then I noticed that it was a tourist piece and not like from some really cool bar that's now defunct. Just someone went to Trinidad and Tobago, and they brought that back. So I decided to pass on that too. Again, I'm trying to be more discerning because I can't just buy things because I like them or they're cool. I can't just buy things to preserve quote unquote history. If you consider a souvenir from Trinidad and Tobago history. So I'm trying to make sure that I buy things I can sell. Otherwise, I think I am hoarding. That's a soapstone plate. I don't do well with those either. That's beautiful. Probably another tourist piece though. I do keep looking. But that has always been not a secret, but I guess that's my angle. Picker said to me once, "Oh my gosh, you always find something." Well, I just keep looking until I find something, right? It's kind of like when you lose your keys, they're in the last place you look. Sometimes the score is going to be in the last place you look because once you got your score, you kind of paid yourself for that day's work and you can move along. Although you might want to look a little closer and see if there's another one. The vases here used to be better, and I am really drawn to this studio pottery one. I thought it was really sweet. I really liked the flower. But I'm talking to myself, not probably out loud in this store. I'm talking to myself and thinking, do these sell for me? They don't really, and it's $7. So it did not come with me. And I thought this was cute, but this brings up another issue or situation for me. That's not really my style. And sometimes I think people can feel the vibe. If it's not your style and you put it in your shop or your booth, it's like they know that you didn't really like it enough to keep it yourself. And therefore, I don't know, it's like you're faking it. And they don't sell as well. I've had that happen with a friend of mine with a different sense of style. She started to try to cross over into some of the types of things I do, and it didn't work out for her either. So that's something to think about. And a very well-known art dealer friend of mine told me, just make sure you buy what you love, because if you get stuck with it, you won't mind so much. But she did admit that you sell things better when you Love them too. I think these are like either classroom or wedding pieces, those jars. So I'm always drawn to studio pottery. I was drawn to this piece and I liked the glaze. I liked the colors in it. It was very like kind of organically done, but it was a little bit crude. And if I'm having trouble selling studio pottery, I really didn't want one that was crude. This is me trying to figure out if this is fire and light, which it's not. At least I'm pretty sure it isn't. And I wanted to really look at the texture and the color and see if there was a signature. I think I did find one piece of fire and light in 12 or 13 years of doing this. Now the bottom of that does not look vintage to me, but the rest of it does. And this is why I spent so much time on it. And then I realized that I don't see a price, so it can't come with me anyway. These remind me of the Costa Boda. I think they're called like Snowball or something, candle holders, but I don't think that they were Costa Boda. Plus, those are actually really common. This was a really weird bowl. I used Google Lens on it off camera to figure out what the heck it was, but I've forgotten. But it wasn't of great value, and therefore I wasn't picking it up. Another piece of studio pottery with a crab on it. It would have been so cool, but it's got this chip. So here's where things get kind of good. And I'll put up comps for these. This is a designer piece. I'm pretty sure it's vintage. It's a designer piece. Look at the colors in it. It's in good shape. I like the collar. The price is good. This bag, it's like color blocked. I just love this bag. You'll have to pardon Wesley. He's drinking a lot of water in the background. It's very loud. It was $8, but I felt like with the comps that I found, it was worth picking up. So I picked this up. I found a lot of stuff late in my trip. This bag was a little cringy for me only because I feel like I remember when people had these bags, but I picked up that Paris bag because I comped it out. I love this patent leather bag. There was an issue with it, so I ended up putting it back. This was a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember what the problem was, but those are really cute and they do sell. This denim bag is probably 1990s, has a little bit of a Johnny Was thing going on with that embroidery. And this is a modern piece, but I think I can sell it in my booth. This bow, bows are in and this sort of lace overlay. I think it will do well. So I thought that was really, really cute. So the scores were kind of at the end. I have a couple more pieces. Oh, well, this isn't necessarily a score, but someone in my family is going to love this t-shirt. So this is a Maeve piece. Look at this beautiful bird print. Often sold, and in this case, yes, sold to Anthro. I love this blouse. It's modern. I have to sell it in my booth or on Facebook, but too cute to pass up. Love the birds on that. This is, wow. Look at that. Missoni. I love that. And this is Free People. This is a We the Free piece. Again, I'll put up comps for you guys so you can see. I decided to do a store haul to kind of streamline the process in this case since I didn't have a ton of stuff like I usually do. And this was one of my favorite pieces. 1990s is my guess. Vintage DKNY, sort of a crushed velvet cropped tee. So cute.